Well, welcome to Community Connections. I'm Vincent Hill. Today we're looking at programs offering second chances, especially for those returning to their community and for those who have had limited chances to realize meaningful employment and education opportunities. Let's welcome our first guests, Mark Foster and Tyree Crawford from Second Chance. Gentlemen, how are you?
Outstanding.
Awesome. So tell us, Mark, about Second Chance. What
Sure.
exactly is it?
Second Chance is a nonprofit. We're located in Baltimore City. We do workforce development, job training. Our target population is returning citizens, those folks who've, for different reasons, have been incarcerated. Returning to the community, returning citizens is where that comes from.
Right.
And they need a second chance. So we're a facility for that. We have a business downtown that basically reclaims building materials, giving them a second chance, but most importantly, a second chance for people.
Tyree, why is that so important for folks coming back into the community?
For the most part, when guys come back into the community, they didn't prepare themselves to come into the community, as far as job skill-wise, work skill-wise. And for somebody like Mark Foster to give us an opportunity to work and teach those that don't know how to work or haven't had a job, work skill development, that's a big godsend.
So tell us about some of the skills, Mark.
Sure. Our business is really a retail business and a deconstruction business. So retail, all the jobs that you can imagine in retail, right? Receiving, warehousing, sales, all opportunities. Tyree's a great example of somebody who's come in, taken advantage of their second chance, started at the entry level warehouseman position, and is now elevated to be the inventory manager. Taking advantage of those opportunities and others, right? We have a deconstruction division in what we do, which takes houses apart, takes part in renovations, and brings all that material back to Second Chance so it doesn't go to the landfill.
Right. So Tyree, you have a unique story then. You started with this program essentially, as the kids say, started from the bottom, now you're here, right? So share your story really quick.
Well, again, as you stated earlier, I'm one of those returning citizens, and because the type of sentence that I had at the time, right, I didn't anticipate that I ever was going to get released.
Oh, wow.
Okay? And then a case came out called Unger versus State, right, and affected the road 246 of us, and they made deals with us and let us out. So this was almost like we snuck out, so to speak, right, because we weren't prepared to go out, because we never thought we was ever going to get out, right? So when the case came out, and we elevated to the street and so much got our freedom, right, we had to find places of employment. And again, you know, not too many people want to trust you coming out, you know, with the kind of crime that we was convicted of. But anyway, at any rate, right, Mr. Foster, he did trust it. Gave me the opportunity to elevate to the position I hold right now. But I still had to go through all the trial and tribulations of learning that job skill.
Right. And before you got out, not to share your case, but how long were you away? 45 years. Wow. Wow. So the entire world essentially had changed.
Everything. All my family had died. I'm now the patriarch of the family.
Wow.
And a really interesting dimension of that, and you recognized it right away, was the world had changed, right? So Tyree gets out, he gets a phone, as everybody does.
Right.
But he doesn't know how to use it. So I'm texting him and say, Tyree, I'd love to, you know, have a time to talk to you to, you know, get you started at Second Chance. He doesn't reply because he doesn't know how to answer his text. And now he's on the computer doing research, and
he's on Instagram.
He's all over, right?
He's on Instagram.
It resonates with you, right? 45 years.
Wow.
Right.
So tell us about your stores, like a Home Depot, essentially, right?
Right, exactly. Our store is probably the size of 4 Home Depots, so that's how big it is. Yeah, it's actually the largest store of its kind in the country. We didn't set out to do that, right? We set out to create jobs, and as it got bigger, it's more jobs, more opportunities for, you know, people like Tyree, and that's what we're about, giving people that second chance, that entry level, that start, that employment, that support that's so important when they get out.
So if I wanted to walk in and say, I need a door or a window, is that something you guys could help me out with?
You'd have a choice of about 4,000 doors and about 3,000 windows. Yes, we could help you out.
Absolutely.
You are bigger than Home Depot.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Now, you mentioned deconstruction, right?
Correct.
So do you have folks that could actually, if I did want a new door or window, that could
our deconstruction folks are going, we actually travel from Florida to Maine. We send crews, and The houses in Florida aren't that much different than the houses in Baltimore in a sense, but what it does is it allows our members that we're trying to work with, members of our associates, to get out of Baltimore, right? To see the world as a different place and to expand their horizons. Because often if you've been like Tyree in a place for 45 years in the system, the world is contained. And what we're trying to do is give people an opportunity to see the world differently, see themselves as having opportunities beyond Baltimore City.
Right. Tyree, you could probably answer this best, obviously. How hard do you think it is for guys and girls to make that transition from being away to coming back to getting back into the workforce? How hard do you think that is?
You first have to have the mindset that you want to do it, and you want to do it the right way, the correct way, the legal way, because there are other options if you choose to, but they have consequences to them.
Right.
So this depends on you, your set of values, your set of principles, your beliefs, and whether you want to go to the left, this is the wrong way, or you want to go to the right and do it the right way, right? So it all depends on the person. Now, sometimes you're going to run into obstacles. Now, it depends on how strong your will is to overcome that obstacle, right? Whether you're going to say, well, no, I'm not going back. I'm not doing that, right? I'm going to find another way, the right way, legally, right? So it depends on the person. It's kind of difficult, though. I won't say it won't. It is. It's very, very difficult. But you can do it if you want to do it, depending on how hungry you is to do it the right way.
How hard was it for you personally?
Well, I didn't have nobody to give me anything. The people I knew didn't have anything to give. So I had to be my own cavalry. I had to be the knight in shining on, right? So I had to tie my own little shoelaces and get out there, and I had to do it myself. And I'm proud that I did it myself, and I did it the right way.
How can someone support Second Chance?
Really just by being aware, making sure that you make the right decisions, and you're supporting the community, right? If you have materials that you're going to otherwise put out on the curb and it would go to the landfill, that's a great spot. That's a great way to support the community, keep the landfills, not filling up as quickly as they would, as well as come down and buy some of the things that support the sale of that material, supports what we do for folks like Tyree.
Right. Really quick, Concept House. Describe that.
It was interesting because we thought that creating a venue that was made out of all Second Chance materials would allow people to see what we do from the material side, but also to create a venue so that those events would support our associates coming out, and you as a guest at one of those events would therefore be able to meet our associates and determine that they are actually real people with a real history and understand more about the returning citizens community. I would put out there as well that we allow the house to be used by other nonprofits for fundraising events at no charge. So anybody's interested in that, just reach out to us, and we'd love to talk to you about it.
All right, gentlemen, we'll leave it right there. Tyree, amazing story. Mark, Tyree, thank you so much. Second Chance does exactly what it says for those returning to the community, for the and underemployed. The idea not only repurposes furniture, but does that same thing for lives, providing opportunity in stronger communities. Coming up, how Goucher Prison Education Partnership provides second chances for education and opportunities.
When you define people by a piece of paper, you might throw away talent. A bachelor's degree isn't the only measure of what a person can do. Open their story, let it unfold, and see what others miss. Because not every perfect hire follows the same path. When you look beyond the paper, you'll see millions of stars skilled through alternative routes and the experiences they've gained along the way. Hire skills first.
Seventh grade was the last time I was in school. I had to grow up so fast that I never had a childhood. When you grow up being told that you're nothing, then you believe it. I started looking at my life. Getting my high school diploma was #1 on my list. I was 38 when I went to go get my high school diploma. Where you start your life doesn't define how you're gonna end up. We all have different storylines. My story's not over, and now I'm a school nurse. I see kids just like me. I teach them how to take care of themselves. I have hopes now that my daughter is going to be something bigger and better than what I ever accomplished. And if you can take that first step, the sky's the limit. Because when you graduate, they graduate.
Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
These walls and windows hold me tight. The warm embrace we all call home. My neighbors watch over one another. This little street is a land of liberty of its own, where I always have a place to go. I'm free to call this place my own. We all deserve a place to call home.
That's an American dream.
The Goucher Prison Education Partnership provides a second chance for higher education in Maryland prisons. Classes are taught to inmates by faculty from Goucher and other local institutes. Students who graduate while in prison earn a bachelor's degree in American Studies. More than 40% of GPEP students who completed their degree graduated with honors. And Duncan and Ramika Robinson join us to share more. Ladies, how are you?
Doing well, thanks.
So tell us about this amazing program where folks are graduating with honors.
Absolutely. Yes, so the Goucher Prison Education Partnership is a partnership of Goucher College with the Department of Corrections. And we offer a Goucher education at 2 Maryland state prisons. So a women's serving institution and a men's serving institution. We have approximately 130 students at any given time.
Okay.
And they are enrolled, as you said, in the bachelor's degree program in American Studies.
Ramika, how long has the program been in existence?
We have been in existence since 2012.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the birth year of GPEP.
So what took so long? Because 2012 wasn't that long ago if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
But people have been incarcerated for a while, so why just 2012?
Yeah.
In 2012, a number of faculty and some community partners got together and started a reading group that eventually turned into credit-bearing classes and then into a full degree program. We are one of the longest running programs around, and I think particularly with the reinstatement of Pell funding for incarcerated students, that has enabled us to continue our work as well as many other programs to start in other areas of the country.
So what kind of services are offered through this program?
So, obviously our primary mission is to offer an excellent education to the students, but we also recognize that part of providing a college education is supporting students in using that to improve their life moving forward. So thinking about careers, thinking about further education. And so Ramika, in her new role, is our primary staff member who works with students while they're still incarcerated and thinking about that transition home, but also with our growing number of alumni who are in the community who are looking to go back to school. We now have, I think, 5 students enrolled in master's programs or who have completed a master's. We have students who are continuing on Goucher's Towson campus, as well as other colleges and universities. So she helps them with that kind of transition. And I can let you speak a little bit more about what some of that work entails, but just to say that we see our work as kind of halfway done once they get that degree, that we there's still work to be done, especially because of the barriers in society.
Yeah.
So let me ask this, what does a college class in a prison look like? Is it computers, is it books? what exactly does higher learning look like
So
behind bars?
excited you asked. I'll let Ann talk about the classroom, the trailers that were just placed, that we received a grant through a federal earmark to provide additional classroom spaces because classroom space was limited. But I'll let her say more about that because they're currently inside the facilities most these days. So.
Yeah, so I mean, we do everything we can to make the classroom just the same as it would be on Goucher's Towson campus. Classes are the same courses. Professors are for the most part the same. They are teaching with the same rigor. There are technology limitations. You know, there's no internet. You know, there are things like that we've worked around to make sure students can still do research. But we try to approximate the Towson campus as much as possible. And yes, we have some new classroom spaces at the women's facility, these new trailers that are really exciting, that are Goucher's own space, that we have decorated with pictures of the Towson campus, and that the students are taking really great care of.
Is there a requirement or prerequisite for someone that wants to take classes?
We do have a rigorous admissions process. It's different from Goucher's Towson campus, but it involves an application, essays, interviews. But the majority of our students through the GPEP program are first-generation college students. Many of them have had gaps in their education. So we do require a high school diploma or a GED. Many students have gotten that GED while they were incarcerated.
Right.
And we also offer some college preparatory courses for those students who need it prior to enrolling in college credit classes.
Got it. And is this open for all inmates?
Any incarcerated individuals at the institutions where we operate are able to apply, and we do admissions every other year.
Last question. How can the community or potential employers for folks getting back into society, how can they help?
Yeah, so happy you asked that question. As we build out this reentry work, as Ann mentioned earlier, this is a new position on our team, and we are in the planning and collaborating stages with community partners. So there is a call to action for other community partners around reentry services to collaborate with us to help provide a seamless transition for students as possible, mainly in the employment sector. I want to highlight that because as we look towards education to careers, our students are looking for careers where they could actually use the skills in which they've learned in the classroom and apply them in the workforce.
Awesome. All right, ladies, we'll leave it right there. Ann and Ramika, thank you so much. To learn more about GPEP, visit goucher.edu and type prison education in the search tab. Coming up, how Vehicles for Change is providing second chances.
When you look to hope, there needs to be something tangible there. My connection to substance use disorder is that I have it, and I am now a person in long-term sustained recovery from it. When I don't have anything else, hope can't be intangible. That's not enough. Let us use this life and this light and these words as a beacon of hope for anyone who has ever considered themselves a lost cause. So when I tell people like poetry saved my life, hope can save your life, it's not a platitude. I knew that I had something that could help, and a good thing came from it.
As a medic, Sergeant First Class, E7. We went in the first waves of the deployment. And when I came back, I didn't come back the same way as I left.
I was in 11 Bravo, it's infantry. Deploying is what we signed up to do. Fighting wars, protecting civilians back home. I never got to do that, so there's a bit of embarrassment there.
I was the gunner on top of a Humvee, and IED exploded about 10 feet from me.
I have scars that will never go away.
The loneliness and the emptiness that I felt. Suicide was something I thought of every single day.
I still feel weird around the title of veteran.
If you could say anything to that veteran, what would you say?
I would tell any veteran,
You deserve it.
Reach out for help now because it'll change your life.
It takes courage to do that. And you realize you're not alone.
Do you want to tell them? They're here.
You deserve because you served. If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Vehicles for Change is a nonprofit dedicated to empowering families with financial challenges achieve economic and personal independence through car ownership and technical training. It's all about second chances for better lives. Martin Swartz joins us to share more. How are you, sir?
Tremendous. How are you?
I am excellent. So we were saying something earlier, although this is about second chances, you say for a lot of the folks you deal with, this is their first chance.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, you know, when you think about some individuals who are growing up in Baltimore City or in impoverished neighborhoods, and they don't have opportunities, right? And a lot of times they don't have opportunities because their parents don't have a car, so they can't get to work. They can't do those after-school activities that most kids can do, and the path takes them down the wrong way. And at 13, 14 years old, they're already having interactions with the justice system. And so we see so many of the folks that we interact with that they never had an opportunity.
So that's when a new car, essentially, not like brand new showroom car, but a new car to that individual can be life-changing.
It means the world. I mean, it is literally transformational. Now you can get to a decent job, you can get to a grocery store, you can get your kids to after-school activities and sports and those things that these children never get to do.
So this is more than just giving cars, right? There's training that is involved in this program. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so the cars are donated by the general public, and then those cars are worked on through our training program where we're training individuals who are coming back from incarceration to be auto technicians. And so it really is, our training program is called Full Circle Training Facility, and it really did bring our program full circle. So we launched that program 10 years ago.
Right. Why has that been such a success?
I think that, again, it's because, one, that we provide that first opportunity. Our recidivism rate over 300 individuals is less than 3%. And it's a combination of things. One, it's a skill that pays more than a living wage. I mean, you can make $150,000 pretty easily in this field if you're good. Right? Two, it's a field that is very receptive to individuals who have a criminal background, which is important, right? And the automotive industry is a very family-oriented industry, so they really look out for the individuals that come their way. And then we provide way more than just the skill. You know, we provide all the wraparound services to help them be successful in society, whether it's support in obtaining and getting that job and being successful in that job, or reacclimating to society, which, you know, if you've been incarcerated for 10, 15, 18 years, that's a challenge in and of itself.
Right. You brought up a good point because I've, you know, taken my car to multiple shops, you know how it goes, and I've never said, hey, what were you locked up for? I don't care. Can you fix my brakes? Can you fix my transmission? Can you give me a tune-up? So you're right. People, I don't think, it's one of those career choices where people don't care what your background is.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you get your car repaired, you can bring it to our shop. It's open to the public, and that's how we generate revenue for the program.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I will keep that in mind. I need a tune-up.
All right.
So how can people donate cars?
Yeah, so they can go right on our website, vehiclesforchange.org. And, you know, this car industry has gone upside down since COVID, and car donations are really difficult to come by. We used to award 300 to 400 cars a year to families. Last year we did 100.
Really?
Yeah, so there's so many people in need, and the demand is getting, as you can imagine, higher.
What kind of cars are acceptable, right? Obviously you don't want to bring a hoopty or jalopy through.
Yeah, actually we take anything.
Really?
Because we can take those cars and sell them and use them to repair other vehicles or to train our individuals. So about 1 out of 6 cars that get donated we actually award to a family, but we need those other cars to generate the revenue for the program.
Right. So who's eligible to get a vehicle?
So we work with sponsoring agencies. So actually, your former guest at Second Chance recommends people to get a car from us. So an individual has to go through one of our partner agencies. It might be Department of Social Services, it might be a job training program, a rehabilitation program. They have to obviously have a Maryland bona fide license.
Right.
They have to be insurable. They have to have a job or a bona fide job offer. Because we sell them a car, we don't give it away. So this is a hand up, not a handout.
Right.
They pay $950 for their car. They get a 12-month guaranteed loan that we guarantee. So they establish credit while they're paying for their car. And they get a 6-month, 6,000-mile warranty with their car so that we make sure that car stays on the road while they're getting back on their feet.
What's the importance of selling it versus giving? I think I know the answer. But
Sure. So now they have a vested financial interest in the program, right? And one, we need the money.
Right.
So it does help us. And they establish credit along the way. But I studied these programs, other programs, long before I started this back in 1999. And folks who got a free car, if it broke down, they just let it sit on the side of the road, right? And a lot of programs out there provide the car, but they don't do any repairs to the vehicle. We completely repair the vehicle before it goes to the family. It goes through Maryland State inspection. So we have significant cost going into the program. And we want them to be appreciative of what we're doing for them.
At any given time, how many people do you have in there working on those cars?
So throughout the state of Maryland, we have 3 training locations, Salisbury, Hyattsville, and Halethorpe. And we will train and place about 110 in the next 12 months.
Are you offering job placement?
We do.
Really?
So we place them with dealerships, chain garages, mom and pop shops. We really look at the individual and see where they're going to fit best. Because some people are better at a big dealership and they like that. They like that. And other folks are more comfortable being in a 3-bay shop. And so our team is really good at helping that graduate find the right location.
What's probably one of the biggest success stories out of your program, if you can think of it?
Gosh, we have 350 of them, but we have so many people that have gone through our program and are working at Heritage or working at different dealerships, and they've been there for years. The coolest thing is when they come back and say they bought a house and they got married and now they have children, right? Or they had children before they were incarcerated and now they're so proud to be able to take care of those children. We had one that's actually a video on our website, and a young man says he wants to be the father he never was.
Wow.
Or never had.
Never had.
And so he had a little boy who was 2 years old, and he's picking him up and he says, I want to be the dad that I never had.
Wow. We'll have to leave it right there. Doesn't get any better than that. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, today on Community Connections, we heard from 3 organizations that are providing second chances through workforce development, education, and opportunities for financial stability. To learn more about these programs and how you can support their mission, visit the websites on your screen. Thank you for joining us and making Community Connections.